You know, with the economy being what it is, figuring out how to protect your retirement savings, it's more important than ever. So today, we're going to dive into a really powerful tool designed for exactly that, the Gold IRA. We'll break down what it is, how it actually works, and maybe most importantly, how you choose the right partner to help you lock down your financial future. So let's just think for a second. What is your retirement account? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? For almost all of us, it's just a number on a screen, right? It's just pixels that can change, sometimes dramatically, after just one bad day in the market. If you feel a little vulnerable about that, you're not crazy. You're completely right to feel that way.
And yeah, that feeling of vulnerability, it can feel like you're staring into what one analyst called a murky, terrifying fog. I mean, you spend your entire life building this nest egg, but there's always this low-level anxiety hanging over it. So the real question is, how do you get some clarity in that fog?
All right, so how do we protect our financial ship here? I like to think of stocks and bonds as the sails. They're fantastic for catching the winds when the economy is growing. But, when a storm hits, you need a lot more than just sails. You need an anchor.
And that's where the Gold IRA comes in. It's basically that anchor we're talking about. It's a very specific, totally legal, IRS-approved account called a self-directed IRA, and what it lets you do is move beyond just paper assets and actually hold real, physical precious metals like gold and silver inside your tax-advantaged retirement account.
So what makes this work so well? The key is that gold is what's called a non-correlated asset. That's just a fancy way of saying it doesn't usually move in the same direction as the stock market. Think back to the 2008 financial crisis. While millions of people were just watching their 401ks get crushed, gold prices actually shot up. It provided this incredible buffer for people who had diversified.
Okay, so how do you actually do this without the IRS coming after you with a huge tax bill? The process is actually way more straightforward than you might think. The most important part here is step 2, a direct trustee-to-trustee transfer. This just means the money moves from one financial institution directly to the other. You never touch it. Because you never touch it, there's absolutely zero risk of triggering taxes or those nasty early withdrawal penalties. It really is the cleanest and safest way to move your money. Now, obviously, you're not doing this all on your own. You need a guide to help you deal with the brokers, the custodians, the secure vaults, all of it. And believe me, choosing the right partner here is absolutely critical.
So how can you tell the good guys from the, not so good guys? Here's a quick checklist you should use. You want to look for total transparency on fees, no hidden markups. You want amazing ratings from places like the Better Business Bureau. Of course, you need top-tier, secure, insured storage. And here's the big one for me, a company that focuses on educating you, not just pressuring you into a sale.
And it's funny, when you actually take that trust checklist and start applying it to companies in the industry, our research shows one name just keeps rising to the top, and for some very, very specific reasons. So if you look at the top contenders in this space, you'll see they each kind of have their own thing, right? Gold goes great because they have a lower entry point. Birch has some fantastic educational resources. But Augusta Precious Metals, they really stand out because of this laser focus on transparency and an educational approach that's pretty much unmatched. That's why they earn top marks across the board. And look, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just some random opinion. Money Magazine, a publication you've definitely heard of and respect, has named them the best overall Gold IRA company for 4 years in a row. Getting that kind of consistent validation from a third party like that is, it's incredibly rare in any industry.
So what's the secret sauce here? What makes them different? Well, Augusta's whole model is built around education. They actually set you up with one-on-one web conferences with a Harvard-trained economist so you can understand the market before you even think about investing. Then they pair you with a dedicated agent for life. And get this, their sales team doesn't work on commission. Their whole goal is to make you an informed client, not to just make a quick sale.
But I've got to tell you, the most impressive thing, the statistic that really just stops you in your tracks, is this one, 0. That's the number of complaints filed against Augusta Precious Metals with either the Better Business Bureau or the Business Consumer Alliance since they opened their doors back in 2012. 0.
Think about that for a second. In a business where you are literally handing over your life savings, a completely spotless record for over a decade, that's not just a number. It is the ultimate proof of their commitment to doing things the right way. That right there is what real peace of mind looks like.
Now, we gotta be upfront about something. Augusta does have a minimum investment of $50,000. This really positions them as more of a premium white glove service.
It's for serious investors who've already built up a pretty solid nest egg and are now really focused on getting the highest level of protection and one-on-one guidance.
All right, so if any of this is striking a chord with you, if it resonates, what's the next logical step? Well, it's about finding your own path to clarity.
And this is where Augusta really walks the walk. Their recommended next step for you isn't some high-pressure sales call. It's not a contract. It's just more learning, with absolutely zero pressure. They want you to be 100% confident and informed before you even think about making a decision.
And they make it super easy to get started. Augusta offers this free, really comprehensive guide that breaks down everything you need to know about the economy, inflation, and how these physical assets can fit into your portfolio. To make it simple for you to do your own research, we've gone ahead and put a direct link to get that free guide right in the description below.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question. In a world where so much of our wealth feels like those vulnerable pixels on a screen, what does it mean? And maybe more importantly, what does it feel like to know that a part of your life savings is a real, tangible, physical thing, held securely in a vault with your name on it? What does real security actually feel like?